Hey y'all, welcome to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. I am Barbara if you're new here, and today is all about preserving projects. I got a ton of stuff that you can't see yet around my kitchen that something needs to be done with it in some way to preserve it. So we're gonna start off with this huge, do y'all see how big this is? This is all lemon balm from my garden. Amazing. I have not successfully grown lemon balm until this year. And I think I'd say I've been pretty successful at it, huh? It smells amazing. So I did a big, huge chop on my lemon balm, and we are going to freeze dry it so that we can have it all winter long and stuff like that. I'm in zone 7B in the state of Tennessee, and this came out of our high tunnel that's 30 by 96. So that's where I have most of my herbs. And like I said, I've tried lemon balm. I think this is my third year, and I've never really had much of a harvest. Like, I haven't had a harvest. Let me just not even say much of a harvest. I have not had a harvest, but it has gone crazy this year. Absolutely crazy, insane. And I gotta go back and remember, I don't know. I don't think I started this from seed. I think I bought this. I think I did. I can't remember. I have to go back to my notes to see if I started it as seed, but I don't think that I did. But anyway, it has produced in abundance. Lemon balm is great for digestion. It's great for sleeping if you have insomnia. People usually dry it and have it as a tea at night to kind of help them sleep or to calm their stomach down. I personally have never had lemon balm tea, so I'm excited to try it. But I know that it has great medicinal properties, so that's why I wanted to grow it in my garden. And this will be the first time that we have grown it successfully, and we're gonna find something to do with it. Let me know in the comments if you've grown lemon balm and how you use it. If it's something different than a tea. So the first thing we're gonna do is get this washed up. I have 3 different things that I wanna put in the freeze dryer today. And so whatever we don't get in the freeze dryer with the lemon balm, we will freeze it until the next freeze dry run. Instead of me running all 5 trays with lemon balm, we're gonna do some lemon balm, and then we're also gonna do some apples, and we're gonna do some mushrooms. So let me get this washed up, and then we'll probably do 2 trays of this, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I decided to just wash what I thought would fill up a couple of trays instead of me doing the whole thing now, because I can go ahead and get this stuff in the freeze dryer, and then I can always just wash the rest and get it ready for the freezer instead of me taking up the time to get it all prepared now when I know it's not gonna go in there. Because I don't know about you, but in the kitchen, I gotta maximize every moment because there's always plenty to do. So I'm assuming that the best way to probably do this is to de-stem it. Y'all, I'm loving my freeze jar. We have had it since February of this year, and I use it every single week. And when it was really thick into the summertime, I was using it every day. Now I'm probably using it twice a week, which to me is still quite a bit. And I could use it more. I could still use it right now every day because I have just that much that needs to be preserved. It's just been a matter of time and stuff. So I think I'm just gonna do the leaves and not the stems. I think that'll be the best thing to do to conserve on space, to get as much as we can on the tray. So we're gonna be doing different methods of preserving today based on how much time I have, how much space I have, what's available to me, and all of that. So a lot of times I'll decide which way I'm gonna preserve something really based on those factors. Do I have time? Do I have space? How quick do I need it? Am I about to go out of town? That type of thing. So that's the reason why I'm not doing all of this lemon balm, is because I'm about to go out of town, and so I need to get some of these other projects done before they go bad. And so I know for a fact I could just stick this in the refrigerator. So I'm just kind of de-stemming it and putting it on the tray, and we'll see if we get 2 trays worth, and then we're gonna come back and go to our next item, which are apples. I'm excited about that. I've never dehydrated or freeze dried apples, but it gotta taste good, y'all, right? We're gonna do that next. Okay guys, now we're over here on the other side of the kitchen getting ready to do our apples. So these are golden delicious apples. I'm gonna do several things with them, I hope, if I have enough. But on this video, I'm gonna freeze dry because this is the day that I'm actually doing preserving. In another video, I'm gonna make applesauce and apple pie filling. But for today, I wanted to try out some dehydrated apples because I thought that would be a nice tasty treat, and I've never had them before, but I'm thinking it has to be good. These apples I bought probably almost a month ago, so some of them are going bad, as you can see here, but the rest of it's good, so I'm gonna cut that part off. But all the rest of these are good. They've been in my refrigerator, and I cut one this morning, it still tasted good. But before they were in the refrigerator, they were on my counter for probably a week and a half, because I kept thinking, I'm gonna preserve today, I'm gonna preserve today, I'm gonna do it today, and that day never came. So finally, I just had my husband put them in the refrigerator while I was out of town, but he didn't put them in the crisper, he put them in the main part, blah, 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 you know. So I gotta do something with these apples because I paid too much money for them to lose them. So I'm gonna cut this part off, the bad part, and see, the rest of the apple is good. So we'll put those parts over here. So these I'm gonna go ahead and just do in some slices. Oh, I should have peeled it. I didn't think about that. Let me peel it first. But then we're gonna use our nice handy little tool to do the rest of these. And I'm gonna tell you all about that in just a minute. But since I have these two that are bad, and I don't know if I could have put it on there, since I cut half of the apple away, let me just go ahead and peel this right quick. Yep, it still tastes good. It tastes real good. I hate that I didn't get 2 bags of these apples because these are the apples I used last year to make my apple pie filling. And when I say it was so good, it was so good. And I didn't have enough apple pie filling. I made 2 because I was trying it out with the method that I used. That was so good, it was not enough. But yes, I should have had a bag of these fresh where I could just eat them. And I think the Golden Delicious are out of season already. I get them from an orchard that's close to me, about 30 minutes away. I'm not gonna eat that. That's good. Ain't nothing wrong with these apples. If they taste good fresh, then they gotta taste good freeze dried, right? Okay. Let's get to it. So, if you were here last year, you saw this. This right here is an attachment that goes on the KitchenAid. Okay, this is an attachment that goes on the KitchenAid. It's a pillar corer, slicer, and spiralizer. This thing is thebomb.com. Let me show you how this works. Now, I haven't used it in a year because I only do it when I'm doing like a big thing of apples. You stick this on here, move this close, turn this on, and you can see it's going to peel it and it's going to core it. Take this part off. I'm gonna dump this in my bowl of water, of lemon water, so it doesn't brown. I see one bad piece on this section. I'm just gonna cut the bad piece off and then put the rest in the water. And then you just slide this back here. And because this is slippery, I don't wanna cut myself. Take that part off. Take that part off, stick another apple on here. Just like that. It makes the peeling of the apple so easy, and you can speed it up so it goes fast. You see how fast that was? I didn't even catch it fast enough. So I'll just put these right in my water. Take this off, and then you have your core and your scraps there. I got my apples here in my bowl, and we're just gonna keep rolling just like that. So I'll meet you back when it's time to put them on the freeze dry trays. Y'all, I'm telling you, if you do anything with apples, your zucchini, if you want to spiralize it, if anything that you want to peel, and you have a KitchenAid, you need to run to the link in my bio to my Amazon shop and go grab this attachment for the KitchenAid. I only use it once a year, but it's well worth its weight in gold because it just saves a lot of time. So here is our thing of apples. That was, I think, 8 apples. So I think we got more than enough to fill up 2 trays. And I was looking before I came back on camera to see if I can mix herbs with fruit in the freeze dryer. And it said that I could. Because I was wondering, I was like, I don't want my apples to taste like lemon balm. What I want to do is put some cinnamon on here. But because I'm thinking because it's a little wet, it'll help it stick in this state, but maybe I can just put it on there after they come out and just see what they taste like plain. I guess that's what we'll do. So I just kind of kept them in their rounds because at first I was slicing them in half, but I'm thinking, oh, that'd be too small of a piece. So let's just do them in rounds. They're all, and the nice thing about letting the machine slice it for you and you not doing it is that they all are going to be the same thickness and size, roughly, depending on the size of the apple. So that's good. It shouldn't take these long to freeze dry at all. Yep, I'll have enough for 2 trays. And then I was thinking about it. I have 3 different kinds of apples. I probably should have did 3 different kinds, but oh well. I'll save some from the other batch. If we like this, then we can do more. But we know that this is the Golden Delicious apple. And it tasted good fresh, so I'm assuming it's gonna taste good freeze dried. I wanna say I dehydrated some a couple of years ago. It was okay, wasn't nothing to write home about. I'm assuming these are gonna be crispy. I can't wait to see what the texture is and what it's gonna be like. Let me know if you freeze dried apples before or if you dehydrated. Let me know if you put like some cinnamon or any seasoning on it, and if you do you do it before you put it in the freeze dryer or after? I'm gonna wait since I want to see what it tastes like plain before I put cinnamon on these, but I just thought that would taste good. Cinnamon apples. So we can eat these as a snack, but then we can also I can rehydrate these obviously and use them in a recipe. So that's also another way, and that's why I like preserving things so many different ways, because depending on how you want to use it, then you have options. You have options. Okay, I probably got enough for a 3rd tray, but I think we're gonna let this be for now and just do 2 trays and see how we like that. I think that's what we're gonna do. So now let's move on to our next item. Okay, so we got all of those items in the freeze dryer, all 5 trays full. It's going, so we got that part done. Now let's move on to our next preservation project, which are onions. I have 2, oh, they're heavy, 2 grocery size bags of onions. No, I didn't buy them at the store. These are onions that we grew. I went and grabbed them out of the root cellar, and I probably got 100 onions left in there. But we pulled these onions in May, and so it's coming up on 5 months. Onions, usually store about 5 or 6 months. In the root cellar, I can probably get 8 months out of them, but I try to check them periodically so that I don't lose any. I've lost a couple, but not anything. I mean, it's been very negligible. Nothing to even complain about. But I want to go ahead and start freezing some of these. I've already freezed one batch before, like about a month ago, and it made like 2 gallon size bags. I used those up like immediately because I was doing this big dinner, and I used all of those onions up, but it was so convenient to have them already chopped up. So I'm going to do that again, and then I'm going to see how many we get, and I'll assess how much I have. At some point, I'll probably make onion powder, but I use chopped onions just about every week and always need them. I like that more than having, I thought there's something flying around. I like having that in my freezer more than I would like having onion powder. I can go buy onion powder from the store. Obviously, I can make it myself, but I wouldn't want a whole jar of onion powder and not have any fresh onions in the freezer that's already chopped that I can just grab and go. That's just my preference. So I'm going to see how many I have. And then towards the end of, before they go bad, if I have enough to make onion powder and feel like I'm good on the other, then I'll do that. But y'all, look at this onion. We grew that. We grew that. Yes, we did. So we did about 400 onions this year, which was fantastic. Let's see. Let's use this one. So I am going to cut the ends off and then get them washed up. And then we're actually going to let the food processor do all the hard work and chop them up. And then I'm going to show you the trick that I use to freeze them. I actually flash freeze mine, and I'll tell you why when we get to that step. But I'm just going to get chopping these up and then get them all rinsed off so they'll all be ready to go at the same time so the food processor can do its thing. And I'm going to try my best not to cry while I'm doing this. Okay, y'all, we got all of our onions peeled and washed. Look how beautiful they are, y'all. Do y'all see how big these are? They are a very nice size. So we're gonna get these, and every one that I opened except one was good, and one I didn't even open. I could just feel on the inside that it wasn't good. So that's pretty good. I'll take it. And it was a small one too, so that's even better. So now I have my food processor, and I need to switch out the attachments so that we can have more of a slice and not a dice. Okay, we got that. Put this in here. I keep all of mine in a bag labeled food processor part, so I always know where it is and I'm not trying to find it at the last minute. So we are going to have to obviously make these smaller in order to fit in here. Let me get this plugged up. Make these smaller so they can fit in the chute. I'm gonna do it smaller than that because these onions are big. So let's see. Okay, perfect size. That will work. It seems like the first time they were bigger, but I guess it wasn't because this is the same attachment as I had before. Yeah, it's the same attachment. Let me know if you guys do your onions a different way when you're putting them in the freezer. If you have a different process, I'm always curious to see what other people are doing. But I'm just gonna get these chopped into smaller sections so it can fit through the chute. And then we're just gonna rock and roll. This will be done in 5 minutes or less. The hardest part is obviously peeling them, washing them, and all of that stuff. But once the food processor is able to do its work, this is gonna go pretty fast. Oh, that was not good. Okay, so that one wasn't good on the inside. No worries. With 400 onions, I just can't even complain. And of course, this has been on my list to do, and I haven't done it. So let me finish getting these chopped up. Whatever is bad, I'll put to the side, but I'll bring you back and we'll be done in just a few minutes. Okay, y'all, I have 3 cookie sheets worth of onions. And I'm out of cookie sheets. And I'm about to be out of space in my freezer. So I'm gonna pop these in the freezer. I'm going to flash freeze them. And then I'm gonna put them, my eyes are just burning. I'm gonna put them in gallon-sized freezer bags. The reason why I flash freeze is that when I'm getting ready to cook, I can just take out what I need and they're not all clumped together. They're like individual pieces. So I can just grab a handful and use whatever I need and then put the bag back, and then they all are nice and individual and separate. I tried it without flash freezing once and I hated it because they all stuck together. So I had to get a knife to try to get them unfrozen, and I had it in chunks and not pieces. It was a mess. So to me, it is worth the effort to do it this way for me because I like it better, and I'm gonna be more likely to want to use it that way. I still have these onions left. So I have these 2 onions that I had not cut up. I'm gonna leave them whole. Then I have these chunks that we're gonna go into the food processor. I'm gonna put these in a bag and put them in my refrigerator. And then either I will just use these first, or the next time I'm able to get it in my freezer and flash freeze, then I'll flash freeze these. But more than likely, I'll just keep them in my refrigerator fresh. But we got 3 trays, and so that'll probably give us at least 2 gallon-sized bag of onions when it's all said and done, if not more than that. So I'm gonna get these in the freezer. I'm gonna get my hands washed, my cutting board clean, my food processor clean, and settle down for a minute because my eyes are on fire. And then we're gonna go to our next project. Yes, we have more stuff to preserve, so stay with me. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I got my eyes settled down. I had to charge my phone, took a little breather, but now we're back in the kitchen to do our next project, which are these jalapenos. And y'all, this is just basket number 1. I got a whole nother basket this size right behind me. But I'm gonna use a food processor for this as well. I'm using the same exact attachment or, cutter. And then I'm gonna freeze these because the freeze dryer right now is not available, but I'll go ahead and freeze them, put them into Ziploc bags. And when the freeze dryer is available again, then we'll put them in the freeze dryer, and then we'll have them preserved for jalapeno salt and whatever else we want to do. But this is not the last of the jalapenos. I still got jalapenos outside in the outside garden. But for this, all I have to do is take the stem off, and then again, this is gonna go pretty quickly. It slices it into nice rounds. When I have a lot of jalapenos like this, I use the food processor versus my chopper. You guys have seen me use the chopper before. If I'm just doing a few, the chopper works fine. But when I have a huge batch like this, the food processor is much, much more convenient and quicker. Let me go get some gloves. I have definitely learned my lesson that when dealing with spicy peppers, have on gloves, even if you don't think you're gonna touch your hands, even though, put on some gloves. Ask me, how do I know? I know, trust me. So, and if I'm making the jalapeno sauce, which my husband usually makes the jalapeno sauce because it bothers me. Your house gets real fumey. But we have an air purifier in the kitchen that we run. Now, me just chopping them and putting them in the food processor, I can handle it. But when I'm getting ready to put them in the freeze dryer or get them out of the freeze dryer and put them in my bags, then it gets to me. So I'm gonna chop. I usually work and get a few again with the top, so then I can just run them through real quick. Is usually what I do, and it's easier for me to do it without gloves on, but it's not the safest thing. So I just have to slow down a little bit to get it done. But these gloves, woo, almost like a fume went down my throat. These gloves are a bit restricted, but basically, gonna put it in here, and because they're the perfect size, we don't have to worry about slicing it in half like we did the onions. It goes super, super fast. And you already got them in rounds. See, just like that. So it makes it in like these rounds. Ooh, that's strong. We did our spicy work with these peppers. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna keep this moving. I'll let you know how many bags we end up with. Okay, y'all, on this day, by this point, I had been in the kitchen most of the day, so my energy is starting to decline, but I just have to get it done. You know how you set your heart and sights on, you got to get it done today. That is where I am in this headspace. So I just try to zone out and just keep it moving because I'm tired of seeing it around my house, and I just want to be done. And these peppers on this first batch, they've actually been in the house for probably about at least 3 weeks, maybe a month. And so they're starting to dry out, so they're a little bit harder to cut because they're not as fresh. Now, it doesn't matter about them drying out because they're going to be freeze-dried anyway and turned into jalapeno salt. So it doesn't really matter. And that's the beauty of having, peppers that you can, leave on your counter, that you don't have to do something with them right away. So, excuse me. So that is the benefit of having that. But when I start to do the second batch of peppers, those are the ones that you and I picked in my backyard when I got that whole Target bag full. That's those peppers. So they are more fresh and they're easier to cut. And so it goes a little bit quicker because these were older. They were a bit, not waxy, but just the exterior was not as firm. So it took a little bit to cut them up. But I eventually do get it done. I go through both baskets. I ended up having to open the window, turn on the humidifier, not the humidifier, the air purifier, just to kind of make it through because it got strong with just me cutting them. I feel like our jalapenos this year were much, much stronger than they were last year. I don't know why that is, but they are definitely giving me a run for the money. But I just keep pressing through because I just want to be done. Okay, guys, it has been a long day in the kitchen and I'm still not done, but I'm about to be done. You feel me? So okay, I pulled the onions out of the freezer. These are what we did earlier today. Hard to see because it's white on white, but I have my little bag things here. If y'all don't have these, y'all need to get them. What are they called? Baggy clips, I think. But it helps you to be able to fill your bag without, what do I want to say? Fill your bag without it like slipping down on you, like it stands up. So the onions are frozen. So I'm going to put them in here, and that way it's going to be very easy for me to just grab what I need instead of them all being stuck together. So even though they're like that, I can break them all apart like that, which makes it a lot easier. We got a lot accomplished today. I'm gonna show you what is still left to do. My husband said he would do it for me. And I told him, oh no, don't worry about it. But you ever heard the word renege? I might be reneging on that. We might just let him have it. We might just let him have it. I'm tired, y'all. Okay. So we're definitely gonna have a whole bag full. And probably a half. I got stuff dropping on the floor. You know how you just get to a point where you just, those 2 or 3 little pieces, it don't even matter. Yeah, that's where I am. That's where I am in the day. Okay, so let's take that. So we got a whole bag of onions. And I usually double bag these. And I learned a lesson. The last time I did this, I used my resealable bags. You don't want to do that because it's hard to get the onion smell out. So for this, a good old single-use freezer bag works the best. But yes, I double bag it so my whole freezer doesn't smell like onions. I don't like that. But that's essentially what it's gonna look like. And then we have another tray. So we'll put that in here. Okay, y'all, look at half of our effort. So we have 2 bags of onions. We ended up with 3 bags of jalapenos. I have 3 bags of lemon balm. And then, of course, in the freeze dryer, we have lemon balm, mushrooms, and apples. Y'all, it's been a day. And this is what I still have left. I have this basket of bell peppers. And then I have this whole basket of all mixed peppers. I have some sriracha in here, some Italian peppers, some habaneros, banana peppers. It's just like a mixture. But I got a whole basket full that something needs to be done with. But I may get a second win and do it later tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Y'all, we got a lot accomplished today. And today I knew was the day to do it because I didn't have a lot on my schedule. And I pretty much had the whole day to make some things happen. And so sometimes you just have to get in the kitchen and just press through and get it done. Because y'all, what's the alternative? Me lose all this stuff that I worked so hard to grow? That's not an option. Like, it is, but it isn't. And so I just had to get in here and press through. That's basically what happened. So it's been a full day in the kitchen. In between, I've cooked dinner and everything else. So it's been a full day in the kitchen, but I'm grateful that I had the opportunity and the time to do it, because I remember just 5-6 years ago, there is no way I would have had a whole day to spend in the kitchen. So I will not complain. I will be grateful. So I have these 2 baskets left to do. I may let my husband do that. My son is gonna clean the kitchen, which most of it, I try to clean as I go when I'm in the kitchen like this. Most of it is already clean, but I'm gonna sign off. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope this inspires you. If you got some stuff hanging around on your counter that needs to be handled, needs to be done, just go ahead and get it done. Just block out the time to get it done. Don't lose the food that you worked so hard for. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.